I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
As a Japanese game with a huge emphasis on the duality and eternal struggle of light and darkness, it may be true that in terms of religious influence, the Kingdom Hearts series draws inspiration primarily from Eastern religions that tend to have a dualist or animist focus, such as Shinto, Buddhism or Taoism. However, when someone who is a believer or is not, who is familiar with Christianity and the Bible, examines the themes, lore and story elements of these games, they might very well find that there is also a surprising level of Christian iconography and symbolism lurking just under the surface, whether intentional or not. Say I'm overanalyzing, say I'm crazy for seeing these things, but hey, I seem to be one of the only people left who actually cares about the overarching plot of the Kingdom Hearts series, so of course I think about this kind of stuff all the time. Now, I realise that religion is one of those extremely important, controversial and therefore touchy subjects online, so whatever your beliefs or lack thereof, please try to be respectful in the comments. Oh, and of course, spoilers for pretty much every single game in the Kingdom Hearts series. You have been warned. So first, I would like to focus on specific story elements within the Kingdom Hearts series, starting with Sora's journey through the Dive to the Heart segment at the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1. This whole section is packed to the brim with Christian iconography, from the reverent choral music, the stained glass windows right out of the cathedral, to the doves that uncover the first station during the opening movie. But all of this symbolism serves a crucial purpose. This is the beginning of Sora's and the player's journey, and I want to hypothesize that this segment is symbolic of the Christian rite of being saved or born again. Sounds totally bonkers, right? Keep listening, and you might just feel different. Sora finds himself in this ethereal, somber realm, where he is told by a disembodied voice that the door is still shut. Suddenly, with a glimmer of light, 3 weapons appear: a shield, a staff, and a sword, and Sora is instructed to equip one. Now this is where we can go deeper. A famous passage in the book of Ephesians states, "Therefore, put on every piece of God's armour so that you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then, after the battle, you will still be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the body armour of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news so that you will be fully prepared. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Put on salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God." So that covers the shield and the sword as symbols of God, but the staff too is also a familiar biblical image, constantly associated with God. In Exodus, the staff of Moses became a conduit of God's divine power through which Moses performs miracles, and the rod and staff of God is mentioned as a comfort in Psalm 23. So, Sora chooses one of these godly instruments, but must give up one in exchange. This is trickier to explain away, but it could be taken as symbolic of the fallen nature of humanity in Christian theology, and the self-denial necessary to become born again. It is also significant that the first station upon which this takes place depicts Snow White, the Disney princess known for entering a state of sleeping death due to an act of jealousy by a powerful being, before being awoken or reborn by an act of love. Sora then encounters the Heartless for the first time, in the Christian position that demons, or fallen angels, will jealously increase their attacks and persecution once a person becomes a Christian, recognizing them as an enemy. Sora's journey through this place culminates in a battle with a powerful embodiment of his own darkness, symbolic of the defining inner act of becoming a Christian, that of giving up or, indeed, killing the old sinful self. Once again, Ephesians provides a fitting image. For once you were full of darkness, but now you have light from the Lord, so live as people of light. To cap off this journey, who does Sora awaken to after defeating the dark side? Kairi, whose name is derived from the Japanese word for sea. Why does this matter? The early Christian church, according to archaeological studies, preferred to baptize folks in open bodies of natural water, such as streams, rivers, or the sea. A practice that, of course, continues to this day to symbolically mark the moment a person is born again. So, that's one segment of the labyrinthian and multi-layered story of Kingdom Hearts that may just reflect an aspect of Christian teaching and practices. But how about a direct biblical parallel? For that, we need to jump forwards in release date and quantum leap backwards in chronology to the events of the original Keyblade War, as depicted in Kingdom Hearts Key, Unchained Key, Union Cross, and back cover.
You serious?
Yeah, this story really took 3 games and a movie to tell. Honestly, Nomura, I love you, but you're really not making things easy for me here. Let me first give a quick rundown of the events of the Keyblade War for those who aren't familiar and need a refresher, or who, like me, really couldn't be bothered anymore with the most tedious and overly stretched out, mind-numbing and repetitive game in the entire series. Just watch back cover, folks, seriously. Long before the rest of the Kingdom Hearts games, in the age of fairy tales, all the worlds were one. A mysterious hooded figure called the Master of Masters forged the first Keyblade in the image of the original Keyblade, that is the counterpart of Kingdom Hearts itself. Soon a whole society of Keyblade wielders was made, and the Master of Masters vanished, but not before giving books about the future and special tasks to his apprentices, the Foretellers. The books, each a copy of the Book of Prophecies, told them of a traitor in their midst that would cause the Unions, which are sort of like Hogwarts houses, each of them led by one of the Foretellers, to fight with each other and start the Keyblade War, causing the world to be swallowed by darkness. Which is basically what happened, but luckily some Keyblade wielders known as the Dandelions, a group started by Ava, one of the Foretellers, survived, and their light saved the worlds, which survived but were forever separated. That may be. However, what if I told you that the story of the Master of Masters and the Foretellers, the very origin point and the cornerstone of the Kingdom Hearts universe, is in fact a twisted reflection of Jesus and the 12 disciples? So, let's examine the specifics. The Master of Masters, like Jesus, tells his followers of a traitor in their midst, and worries them with the news that he will not be around for much longer.
Oh, right. Before I forget. If a wielder is overcome by malice, or rather if their heart is tainted by darkness, their adorable little spirit will turn dark and become a nightmare.
So you're telling us that if we see a nightmare...
Someone has fallen into darkness.
Exactly. And if you don't stop this renegade spirit, it'll plant darkness in the hearts of others. And you'll have an army of nightmares on your hands. Beware.
So, if we see one of these nightmares anywhere, we have to get rid of it on the spot.
No! I won't let you do that!
No wonder you ended up as the bear. You're scary.
One of you sitting here is going to betray me. Tonight.
We'll all stand by you. Every one of us.
Even if everyone in the world deserts you, I will never, never let you down.
By the way, if one day I suddenly disappear, I'm counting on you to keep the others calm, okay?
Huh? Disappear?
Vanish, dim, fade. I don't know how to explain it.
This is the last time I will ever drink wine with you.
Master.
Until I drink the new wine with you in the kingdom of my Father in heaven.
In heaven? No. No.
He also displays knowledge of the future and gives a special role to one of his followers as the first in a line. In this case, it's Luciu receiving that unrealistically huge and lizard-like eye and the Keyblade that would eventually end up with Xehanort, along with the mysterious black box. In the case of the disciples, it's Simon, the one who later denies Jesus 3 times, being given the new name Peter, derived from the Greek Petros, meaning rock, and being told by Jesus that he is indeed the rock upon which he will build the church.
The gazing eye? It's not what it's called.
Oh, what then?
Actually, no name.
No name.
Well, gazing or not, that Keyblade does have an eye in it. My eye, to be exact. Ew! Oh, you think that's gross, do ya?
No.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, about your role. You need to pass down that Keyblade to your apprentice and then him to his, so that my eye can see the future.
Simon, I shall call you Peter, the rock. The rock? Yes, I'm going to build on this rock.
Eventually, one of his followers, frustrated and disillusioned, decries him, revealing himself as a traitor. In this instance, it's a Sed standing in for Judas.
If we don't do something, light will expire. Then we won't be able to avoid the grim future that awaits. We need to defy the Master's teachings to protect the world.
You're saying he was wrong?
He's not here anymore. I won't let his prophecy come true. I won't let the world fall into darkness.
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Give to Caesar. Jesus must be stopped, and his disciples.
No. The Son of Man will suffer many things. He will be arrested. He will be killed.
No, Lord. That will never happen to you. Never.
Messiah. Killed. Defeated by the Romans. No! A false Messiah. Defeated. We'll all die.
The Master is also close to his two female followers, Ava and Envy, standing in for Mary Magdalene and Mary the Mother of Jesus, and both remain faithful to the end in both cases. Admittedly though, there are some holes in this comparison. The Master of Masters never faces any kind of persecution or punishment, and he vanishes way before things kick off. Despite his presumably enormous power as the first ever Keyblade wielder, he never demonstrates any of it by, let's say, driving out demons, turning water to wine, or walking on water. He also never, as far as we know so far, returns after vanishing. Though in this case I suppose we'll have to wait and see in future installments. Personally, despite what Nomura has said, I'm banking on the Master making some kind of appearance in Kingdom Hearts 3. The overall story of the Keyblade War also brings to mind the fall of the Angels, an event that predated the fall of man. Different factions of a society of warriors fight to either defend or seize the light, and the ensuing destruction leads to one faction cast out, the Dandelions, or the third of angels that followed Lucifer, and darkness being released for the first time into the world at large. The site of this great war, the Keyblade Graveyard for Kingdom Hearts or Heaven in Christianity, will also be where the final battle will begin, according to pivotal prophecies in both.
On that fated land, a great war shall transpire. Darkness will prevail, and the light expire.
Then there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. So, this concludes part 1 of this series that looks at the connections between Kingdom Hearts and Christianity. Part 2 will cover the specific characters and locations in the series, and how they line up with people, places and concepts in the Bible and Christian teaching. Any thoughts, ramblings or ravings? Do you agree or disagree? Either way, I'd love to hear from you in that no man's land down below. And do let me know what you think, genuinely, it really helps, it's really important to me because I plan to make more videos like this. I plan to make this channel a jack-of-all-trades type thing, a sort of variety show as it were. I want to do more theory videos like this if there's interest in it. I'd like to do various other content as well, such as my thoughts on various TV shows, films, video games, whatever films are currently coming out especially, which I've had the pleasure of seeing, or not as it may be, and along with various other miscellaneous content. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see, and also subscribe if you want to see more, if you want to be kept up to date. I know everybody says that, but thought I'd throw my 2 cents anyway. Take care of yourself. I'll see you out.